right, we'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. We'll call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order this November 5, 2025, a little after 10 a.m. All three commissioners are present. We will begin with consent and approval with our County Administrator, Renetta McClure. Good morning, Renetta.
Good morning. We have no exonerations to approve this morning. Minutes from October 29th, 2025. Vouchers, General County, 309-089-89. Magistrate Court, 6998. 911, 80,348.78. Chestnut Ridge Park, 5,847.89. Camp Muffley, 7,757.74. Mason-Dixon Park, 864.28. Mon County Center, 471.67. Opioid settlement funds, $4,507.91. Assessor's valuation, $1,999. Day report center, $99,875.83. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $2,661.81. Camp Muffley, $319.23. Mason-Dixon Park, $256.18. Mon County Center, $71.06. Assessor's valuation, $18,341.25. ARPA, $5,225 for a voucher total of $536,707.50. We also have a new account, the health insurance clearing account for the pre-funded amount that was already approved. We need to note that in the vouchers, $509,278.02. We're still waiting for the auditor's office to assign a fund number to that. Budget revisions, there are none. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on the county website and fiduciary orders for November 5th, 2025.
I move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Second.
The first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you also have a couple of extra estate matters. The first one is the estate of Jonathan Robert Lint II. This was a creditor, there was an objection to a creditor claim that was filed by WVU Medicine. The legal counsel has sent in a letter withdrawing their objection.
Okay. I think
To
they worked out the
the-
insurance is what they were waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we just need to note that we've received the letter of withdrawing the objection and the estate can proceed.
Second.
Is that your motion?
Well, I was just.
You're just
we
noting
need-
it for the
We just
record?
need to note.
Oh,
for
we
the
just,
record.
okay, well, I didn't, if you wanted to officially put it on the record, but, okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you'd like to officially, I move that we accept the
Yeah.
withdrawal of the
Objection.
objection as presented.
Second. I thought just to be part of the record, so we
No
have it.
problem.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Second one is the estate of Mary Ann Harrington.
Yeah, this is a little different situation than we've run into before. We had the spouse of the decedent appeared and be sworn as administrator without a will. And then short time after, a will was presented. However, there were questions about the will. There were some write-overs and some whiteout and things. So there was some question as to the validity of the will, which is pretty much what it presents to us today as to what to do with this estate, whether we have the administration continue under the sworn administrator or allow the will to be admitted and then the subsequent executor, who's different than the administrator, to be sworn in. My understanding is it was the spouse of the decedent that was administrator. There are two children of the relationship, so it's kind of all the same parties. It's just a slightly different reading of the will than would be either under the administration.
Correct. So and I always look at things chronologically. The Ronald Harrington came in to open the estate on 10/16/25. So he is essentially the executor.
Administrator.
Administrator. And then this will was presented on 10/28 that was brought in by Karen Jenkins, the decedent's sister. And I'm not sure why it was recorded, because it has some obvious issues in regards to, there's whiteout with writing, but it's not initialed. So,
There's a couple of witnesses missing on the one page, but there's a
yeah, they
self-proving
don't.
affidavit.
Yeah, they don't sign the actual will. The witnesses don't sign the actual will, but they provide an affidavit. So it's a little odd, and I think then normal course it would have been rejected, and then whoever's trying to submit it would have went through the normal legal process in circuit court to determine whether it's a valid will. That's not our purview.
Right.
So because it was recorded, that kind of puts us in an awkward situation, but it's the clerk's suggestion that the county commission issue an order that the current administrator, which is Ronald Harrington, can continue to administer the will, which I think she means the account, the estate.
The estate, I think
Big-
the suggestion was to allow him to stay in
Continue.
charge of the estate, however, to
Correct.
follow the terms of the will rather than intestate succession, which he was doing as administrator, even though a different administrator or executor was named under the will. But if we're not admitting the will,
Yeah, so if,
how do we change who would administer the estate?
well, I think her suggestion is to leave it as was, that Ronald Harrington would administer the will as
Or the
person-
estate without a will? yeah.
The estate without a will. And then if there's an objection to that, then the family can
Can
take
go
it
to court.
to court to
Right.
actually prove the validity of the will, and then, let that whole process run its course.
So at this point, we would keep the status quo that the administrator is running the estate as an intestate state, meaning no will, and that we don't recognize.
We don't recognize the will. I
Will
think
has
that
been
needs to be an
recorded.
S statement.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the motion would be to allow the estate to proceed with the administrator, Ronald Harrington, performing those duties as,
As if there was no will.
since there was no will, as currently
Performing.
Right.
being accomplished, and to not acknowledge the validity of the
Right.
will that was presented.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks. That was a different one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to talk through these things. No new employees, personnel changes, or do we have any?
No, sir.
Okay. Comments from the public. At this time, anyone wanting to come forward can step on up to the podium, state your name and your piece, so to speak, and we'll do that. And JR, if you want, in the interest of time, rather than coming up at, officials' time at the end of the meeting, if you wanted to come on up now and do what you were going to do, say you got, because I'm sure everybody's got work to do.
Yeah,
so-
everybody's got stuff to do today.
Yeah, great.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
JR Petsko, our Director of Parks.
I'm pleased to share with that the Monongalia County Parks and Recreation Department, and more specifically Chestnut Ridge Park, has been honored at the state level by the West Virginia Recreation and Park Association. Chestnut Ridge Park, Tubing Hill, and Concert Amphitheater have been named the recipient of the Austin C. Palmer Outstanding Facility Award. This honor celebrates facilities that serve their community through exceptional design, beautiful spaces, impactful programming, with an emphasis in outdoor amenities that can be used 12 months out of the year. This marks the second consecutive year that the Monongalia County Parks and Rec Department has been recognized at the state level. I've invited members of Chestnut Ridge Park staff here today and the Monongalia County Litter Crew to join me in this announcement. Their hard work and their dedication has made this possible. Our Tubing Hill offers a resort-quality experience that requires significant effort and coordination from the staff to operate it safely and successful. Another major factor in receiving this award was the addition of the new mobile stage at Chestnut Ridge Park for the summer. The stage has enhanced our production quality both for our performers and for our attendees. and has helped make this achievement some of the highest attending numbers we've seen for concerts ever. With that, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to our team of employees who contributed to the success. And if you would, please stand as I say your name. Meredith Eibel, she is our new superintendent. She's been with us 3 or 4 months now. She jumped in immediately and helped take over the concerts. She had no reservations of jumping on stage, introducing the bands, giving out awards, so she got trial by fire. Next, Mr. Nick Filippelli. Nick helps us in many different aspects. He does the online registrations for tubing. If you've ever seen the original art that we've had for the last 3 years for the concert, Nick creates that himself. He also does bookings of the bands and bookings of the food trucks. A lot of people come to the concert not only for the show, but also for the food trucks. Cody Lehman, I can't say more about Cody. Cody puts in a extra effort every day that man comes to work. He is outstanding. It doesn't matter if we're asking him to blow snow off the AstroTurf for the tubing hill, if it's making snow when I'm making snow overnight and he's got it during the day. He will do anything that you ask. Robert Lyons, he is our lift extraordinaire as a part-timer for us. Robert, he emphasizes safety when he operates the tubing hill. His biggest job is he unhooks the riders on the tube at the top of the hill, which is one of the hardest jobs because you have the tension on the lanyard, and he's able to take them off. Sometimes he can do it one-handed when the rest of us struggle, and it's very embarrassing when you do not get somebody off the tube in time because they run into the safety, and everybody it shuts down, and everybody's paying attention. So thank you, Robert. Kit Porter. I can't say enough. Kit is our housekeeping at Chestnut Ridge Park. Because this takes every member of our staff to do this successfully, Kit offers to help us on that tubing hill when she's completed her own job. And efforts like that mean a lot because it takes more than just what we have up there to complete this. Andrew Castor and Dylan Weber of the litter crew, they are up there Monday through Friday during winter time because they can't safely pick up trash along the road. And we benefit greatly by their help by rolling out the turf at the bottom of the hill, which you're talking about hundreds of pounds of material. They also stock wood, so our folks who are at the tubing hill on weekends stay warm. They also help us make snow, bring materials back into the hut whenever we need to, and just everybody goes above and beyond to make this tubing hill operate. We're providing a resort quality experience at our county park for $10 for folks. And it's not about me, it's about everybody behind me who's helped make this possible. Obviously, we couldn't bring everybody down here today. Somebody had to stay home and keep the lights on. I would also like to thank Christina Spangler, Teresa Campbell, Adam Howe, Virgil Lehman, and Trevor Haas. And last but not least, I would like to thank Mayor Lewis. I watched a video with her standing here where she told us about her family coming from Florida and having just a most wonderful time. I asked her to write a letter of support for this submission that we did, and she did. And I would also like to thank Susan Riddle from the CVB because she did as well. And without your two support, we wouldn't be standing here today. Thank you. And if anybody would like to see this, I'll just leave it with you and I can get it later.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, JR.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, well deserved. Anyone else for public comment? No, with that, I'll close public.
You don't have to
comment.
stay if you don't want to. I mean, it's so exciting. Yeah, the rest of it's so exciting, but we understand if you want to go.
I'll get that back later this week.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
We'll put it on our empty shelf for now.
Yeah, oh, that looks nice.
All right,
We'll let you take a picture later.
moving on. Proclamation, National Hospice and Palliative Care Month.
Nobody's here from
Okay.
that, so our illustrious office manager will be reading that for you.
Wonderful, thank you, Colleen.
Please forgive me, I'm ill-prepared. Whereas hospice and palliative care are holistic, patient, and family-centered, provided by a team approach to treat the body, mind, and spirit. At the heart of all of this is meeting patients and families where they are living with serious, life-limiting illnesses. And whereas for more than 40 years, hospice and community-based palliative care providers have helped provide comfort and dignity to millions of people. And whereas hospice and palliative care has empowered people to live as fully as possible, surrounded and supported by family and loved ones, despite life-limiting illnesses. And whereas the interdisciplinary team model at the core of hospice and palliative care provision involves a holistic approach to treatment, including expert medical care and symptom control, as well as attending to the patient's emotional, spiritual, and psychosocial needs, and provides family services like respite care and bereavement counseling. And whereas over 1.5 million Medicare beneficiaries living with life-limiting illnesses and their families receive care from the nation's hospice programs through the Medicare hospice benefit every year in the country. And whereas each year, if 80%, as opposed to the current 50%, of descendant Medicare beneficiaries used hospice for 24 months, nearly $2 billion could be saved by the Medicare program annually. And whereas hospice and palliative care providers encourage all people to learn more about options of care to share their wishes with family, loved ones, and their healthcare professionals. And whereas West Virginia Caring, formerly known as Hospice Care Corporation, has faithfully served West Virginia for more than 41 years in Barber, Braxton, Calhoun, Gilmer, Marion, Monongalia, Pocahontas, Preston, Randolph, Taylor, Tucker, and Wetzel counties. Now therefore be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission, by virtue of the authority vested in us, do hereby proclaim November 2025 as National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and encourage citizens to increase their understanding and awareness of care at the end of life, discuss their end-of-life wishes with their families, and observe this month with appropriate activities and education. Adopt it today.
Move to approve the proclamation as presented.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Colleen, do you have any grants today? All right. Moving on to correspondence, we have the levy report received from Bow Park for July to September 25.
I also received another piece of correspondence. This was forwarded to us from Hannah Winott at the Visit Mount Air Country CVB. It is just a thank you to the County Commission for your support and helping them host the 2025 Governor's Conference on Tourism here in Morgantown.
No unfinished business. Moving on to new business. Consideration to approve requisition number 111 for the University Town Center Excise Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
The requisition is for $2,675, and that is the invoice for Municap for the month.
Move to approve requisition number 111 for the UTC Excise Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
Second.
The first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, consideration to approve requisition number 30 for the University Town Center Series 2023A Property Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
The requisition is for $14,092.50. That is for Municap's invoice for the month of October, and then also for Steptoe and Johnson for their service to the district, covering August 22nd, 2025 through the end of September.
Move to approve requisition number 30 for the UTC Series 2023A Property Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
Second.
The first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next, reports from elected officials and
Okay,
departments. Oh,
so we
sorry.
have, just to clean up something, we do, as you're aware, on the 17th, we approved the agreement with Take Command. It was assumed that we would give the administrator all the authority to execute all the documents and everything that's required to set that agreement up. The actual motion that I made on the 17th, it was agenda item E, was to approve the service agreement with Take Command Insurance Agency, DBA Take Command Health, to provide a software platform and related customer support services for the administration of an individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement, ICRAF, plan for the employee medical coverage. What I a corollary that I wanted to make sure that was clear, that we give the administrator the authority to, or delegate the administrator to do everything necessary to set that account up. A lot of it's electronic, there's a lot of steps. So to be perfectly clear, as we've been going through the setup of the ICRA accounts, there's a lot involved there. So I just want to make sure that the commission is on board with delegating that authority, and it's actually noted in a meeting. So I would move to delegate the Monongalia County Administrator with authority to execute all documents regarding the service agreement with Take Command Health as approved on October 17, 2025, new business agenda item E, including the auto pay enrollment process, integration of the health insurance clearing account, creation of the account with Take Command's banking partners, and any other documentation specific to the ICRA program implementation.
Second, yes.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I missed?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
And also, I didn't ask, you didn't have any other correspondence? A couple agenda items back, did we?
I just, that extra CVB thing, that was the only thing I had.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have
You guys
anything.
didn't have any, sorry, I do that all the time. All right, then, reports from elected officials and department heads, anything from Granville today? No. Reports from county commissioners, Sean?
Since our last meeting, last Thursday, the administrator and I had onboarding call with Take Command and USI. Friday, we had staff reports, and then we had another USI Take Command tag up. And then I did a Frontier site visit. Frontier has notified us that they are done with the project. Our broadband expansion project that we did with them, and I asked them when they notified us if I can actually do a ride out to see the areas that we hit. So we were out in the Halleck Road area, Gladestown Road area, Grafton Road area, and they showed me where the connections came in, where they're hitting. So far, they already have 70 households that have signed up. And they, during the ride, I really appreciate the Frontier engineer, Jason, that took me around and showed me everything. But as we were doing that, we talked about a lot of other projects, a lot of other things that they have going on in the county. And I'm really encouraged that what we had anticipated is starting to bear fruit. Like, we knew that if we took internet to some areas, that would be the first step. But as we go along and we see these ISPs coming into areas that already are connected, now all of a sudden you're offering choice. And that in itself is going to drive costs down.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them about Frontier's going to be doing some expansion in the Suncrest area. So I know that's predominantly a Comcast area. So that in itself will give our citizens choice and start driving some of these costs down. And the pricing that Frontier offers and also Comcast. Comcast has completely redone their pricing within the last year. Tom, you went to their store reopening. So
Yeah.
we're seeing a lot of those pressures that we expected once we started getting more of these areas connected, that there would be more, you create a few trunk lines, or you create a few inroads for an area to be connected, and then you eventually start creating competition. So that's all good stuff. This week, yesterday I had our regular JUMA call with Eastern Sports Management, and we had a Development Authority Executive Committee meeting, and then we had another tag up with Take Command. And then at the end of the day, we had our Align HR tag up. So the administrator and I have been busy with all these other additional meetings. I ended the evening by attending the Brown Halleck Community Association meeting. I wasn't even aware that it existed up until like a month ago when they asked us for funding. But it's a they own the actual building.
Yeah.
It's one of those
It's tight
buildings
knit.
where it's community association, community organization that we support, but actually, they have the burden of all the costs for the building, and it's not a county-owned building, but a great group of individuals. I'm impressed. When I got there wasn't even a seat. There was actually one seat left after somebody cleared it for me, but there was probably 20, 30 people there in their association, which had kind of gone dormant since
Right.
COVID. So it's good just getting to know these people that are out there providing opportunities for our different neighborhoods. It was a good meeting. Today's a regular meeting, one work session, and then we have another surprise Take Command USI tag up. Tomorrow I have a broadband tag up with a local team. We have staff reports on Friday, exit 155 meeting, and then another broadband team tag up. Tuesday is Veterans Day. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the county employees that are veterans, and to thank all of our county's veterans for their service. And I want to take time on Tuesday to honor their commitment to this country. I do want to provide a little bit of an update on. We've provided this information to the employees, but in case somebody's missed. As we're implementing the rollout for our ICRA program, last week we had a very good webinar for Medicare. We had pretty much, I think, maybe one or two weren't there, but all the employees there's 14, 15 employees that would be Medicare eligible that attended the meeting, asked a lot of good questions. There's been a lot of good back and forth. This week, Friday, the actual open enrollment for the rest of the population to go into the Take Command platform and start shopping for insurance plans. We sent out a training video that, if people watch, would give them information on going into the Take Command platform to kind of prepare them. We go live on Friday, so now on Friday, everybody should look for their emails to get the invitation to go into the into the platform. There'll be those go to the employees' personal emails. Unless they don't have one, then it will go to their work email. So all employees should kind of keep an eye out for that email on Friday, and if you don't see us, let us know so we can find out. One, check your spam filter, but two, if it's not there, then let us know so that if there's, a keystroke error in the way that your address was put into the system, we want to make sure that you get that information. And what we're encouraging employees to go in, you don't have to shop immediately, but go in and look around and start looking around and gather your questions. Because then on Monday, we have a webinar for our employees that will be made available here in person, but because of obviously the number of employees, it will also be made available virtual and recorded for employees to ask questions. So we ask people to kind of go in and get educated as to the platform and develop these questions and then bring them to the webinar if the training materials haven't already point you in the direction. But I just want to make sure that those important dates were noted. The webinar is what time on Monday? 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock on Monday is the webinar. And then lastly, our open enrollment period runs from Friday the 7th to 2 Fridays from now, the 21st. So during that time, we'll be trying to make sure that all of our employees get into the system. We'll be monitoring that and then reaching out to the employees that may not have gotten in yet. And I believe it's an automated response. When you get your credentials, the system will start shooting you emails as to your status. So if you haven't gone in, it will remind you, hey, don't forget, you got to go in. And even if you've gone in and got to a certain point but maybe haven't checked out yet, it will keep
Remind you.
reminding
That's what I wanted
you.
to ask. Okay.
So we don't want anybody to fall through the cracks. Anyhow, just wanted to make sure that we noted those important dates in regards to our ICRA program implementation.
Great.
And that's all I have.
Tom?
Okay. Yeah, I attended a ceremony, and for anyone who's had a student in a sort of athletic program in Monongalia County, John Ellis retired as a coach. 40, 50 years easily. at middle school, high school, cross country, track, and basketball. And I just want to wish him the best. I think it was an amazing ceremony. There was almost several hundred people there going through the entire gamut of when he was a coach. And all I could just tell you, one quick story is he hired me as the first time I ever coached, and I was a track coach, long distance runners. At the end, I was all excited, said, oh, I look forward to coaching next year. And he looked at me with a straight face and said, you know, there's a tennis position open up next year. You might want to consider that. And I took the tennis position. But he was very straightforward when he coached. Second, I just want to state that I did have a conversation, several actually, with Commissioner Daniel Hall from Raleigh County. He sent me this, and I just want to read what it is. On the County Commission of Raleigh County, West Virginia, sitting in regular session the 7th day of October 2025, hereby approves and adopts the following: a Raleigh County panhandling ordinance. I just was very surprised, and we had a long conversation about that. And finally, I want to just say, as a county commissioner, I just cannot say enough about this community reaching out when there have been, with the emergency, with the SNAP crisis, with the money that's been cut from the food programs at the federal level, and the shutdown. And I will just say, as an executive director of the Pantry Plus More, just to give you an idea, WVU hospitals received 12 extra bushels of apples yesterday. They called Chestnut Ridge Church. 2 members of Chestnut Ridge Church called me. We all went out there and picked up the apples for free, and now we're going to be able to distribute it. And this has been going on, the community reaching out. I know on Friday the radio stations are running a food program. I know the churches are. And I really can't say enough about why we're so lucky to live in this county and this community, and everyone's reaching out. I know Granville has a place where they're going to collect food. I know, Star City, everyone has reached out, and we're really appreciative of that, and I can't say enough and thank you. And hopefully this crisis will be over, and they will get their shit together at the federal level. Thank you. I had to say that.
Tom, I want to add to your comments about Coach Ellis.
Yeah.
Anybody that's had their kid through the Suncrest, and actually not even through the Suncrest.
Yeah,
I met Coach Ellis when Becca was running cross country at St. Francis, and I've told this story before, but he's just such a kind soul. He at these events he would encourage everyone.
Yes.
And he did more encouragement to my daughter running cross country at another school than her own coaches, and that's not a slight on her coaches. He's just that type of individual. So then I was lucky when Gwen went through Suncrest and had him for track and cross country for 6th through 8th grade.
Yeah.
And it was just wonderful watching him with the kids. He always did the girls. And just sitting here, he'd have them all sit down, and as he was talking to them all the time, I don't think the girls understood his self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
He talked about being retired all the time, and that was 20 years ago,
Yeah.
because his wife didn't want him home, and then his chuckle, he'd laugh, and the kids would just sit there and just look at him, just hanging on every word. So he's a special person, and I'm sorry to hear that he's actually officially retiring.
Yeah.
But it's well deserved, and he has been a gem representing Mon County for years. So appreciate you bringing that up. I didn't know about he was officially retiring.
Yeah.
That's great. Just one thing for me, in recognition of the proclamation we read for hospice. If anyone's
Yeah.
had the experience with a loved one that's needed hospice care, it's an incredibly hard time, and they come in and they provide incredible care and compassion to the individual that's in that position, as well as to the family. So they were wonderful with my father and my father-in-law, and I just like to thank them for all they do, and having a proclamation read for them is good recognition, but it's just a little it's not quite enough for everything that they do. So
I agree.
we appreciate that. But anyway, With that, anyone? Give me a
Move to
motion.
adjourn?
Second?
We are adjourned. Thank you.